most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Louie Michaelson from Business Talk Radio, and we have a very special guest today from Tucson, Arizona, and sometimes San Francisco Bay area in California. Robin M. deGroot, owner and founder of TLC, Truth, Love, and Creativity. This is Robin deGroot. How we doing, Robin?
Hi, hello. I'm doing great.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So we're going to go over some little wins, little victories, little things that can be done.
Yes. Especially in this time, I think. It's something I wanted to talk about.
Yes, this is a very rough time, and we need those little positive things, the little pluses, the little gifts that our life gives us.
That's right. And I think a lot of it is us giving it to ourselves, kind of. That's the celebration aspect that I wanted to remind everyone. And when I talk about little wins, it's kind of like just lifestyle right now, since a lot of people are home and they need to really go inward a little bit. They can't just do all the distractions or regular life schedule as usual. So for me, a lot of little wins are that I get outside, do a little bit of exercise each day, and I'm doing a lot more videos and podcasts. So those are some of my goals each day. Just kind of like reaching out to a virtual audience, I guess. That would be one thing. I wanted to talk about when I was younger. When I was younger, I was actually really academically pretty inclined, and I did quite well in school. And I used to be almost a little embarrassed because I would win a lot of awards and things. And that just reminded me of a quote by Marianne Williamson, which I learned about later when I was about 15, and I want to read it. So, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us. It's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So that was really good for me to hear at one point, because I was the successful one, especially when I was younger, and then I wouldn't have a lot of friends. So it was kind of this weird turning inward on myself. And I just hope that people don't do that because they do need to do the best that they can, and others need to celebrate that as well. So when I talk about celebrating little wins nowadays, I guess it's more about in your own family, in your own lifestyle, if you have goals. And I have always goals about weight loss, so that is something I'm working on right now too. I'm doing one of the challenges from one of the direct marketing companies that I'm a part of, which is New You Life. So I am doing their challenge until May 31st, I guess. So you have some of the keto products in the morning and in the evening, and then it helps with hunger control and just utilizing fat for energy. And then along with doing some exercise every day, then I have some goals. And it's kind of a fun thing. Like, I don't take it too seriously. I'm not usually someone who wins these challenges because I have a lot more complicated issues with weight loss and weight gain and all that. Partly because I had Cushing's disease for many years, and I did have the pituitary tumor removed when I was 38 years old. But it can recur, and I do think some of that still recurs, or there's just like certain cellular damage, whatever, from your adrenals now. So I actually come to a certain level of acceptance where I'm pretty happy with what I know that I'm doing to keep myself feeling good and looking at the best I can be in those moments. So I always work on these challenges, but it doesn't mean that I'm not happy where I'm at right now. So that's something I like to remind people too. And not to live like I'm going to be happy when I accomplish this, when I accomplish this. And it's kind of like a state of eternal waiting. So that's not very healthy for us. And I think it's really hard right now because we have especially this feeling like we can't do much because we don't necessarily have the income coming in. And there is a sense of waiting for sure. But I just suggest to go into all the things that you haven't had time for, and especially on a working on your own higher self kind of direction. So that's some of the best times when we don't have the ability to do other things. We can work on our creative life, our basically our learning and growth. A lot of reading, if that's possible. I love Audible, actually, because Audible has the books on audio, so I can actually multitask because I'm still very ambitious, and I like to get a lot of things done at the same time. So I do force myself to read a little bit, actual words on pages, but I also listen to a lot of books on Audible. And they have the great lessons, the great courses. Those are very cool. And those are some of the things. So that's like the celebration aspect. I think if you make some goals, some goal sheets, some close goals, like each day have some goals, which aren't too extreme, because that's another problem sometimes. When your to-do list is always so extreme that you'll feel defeated each day that you don't finish that because it's too much. So if you have a reasonable to-do list, then I think those goals can be celebrated each day. And then each week you can have some goals, and then monthly, and you start to see further progress when you kind of check in with that. I'm also a big supporter of journaling, and that can be a type of goal-oriented situation as well. It can also just help you unload your thoughts and really clear your mind in that meditative aspect, because our minds are buzzing, especially with worry, and right now that can be worse. So writing things, and you can have different journals. I know one of the people in my mastermind, Greg Hanna, he has a whole system with several types of journals, and that is a very interesting concept as well. I tend to use one journal that is a pretty big, just notebook, because I'm going to write a lot. And I'm doing a bit of a hybrid system of something that I learned from the book, The Artist's Way, and in that book, it talks about, in order to re-inspire your creativity, first of all, the walks every day is part of it, because your mind can wander. And then the other part is to write 3 pages right away as soon as you wake up. And you don't really judge what you're writing. You just really do kind of the brain dump. So I try to write the dreams as much as I remember from the night before. And it's usually from early morning, actually. So I try to write that, and then I also go into a journal. So I think those things can be very helpful because it starts to get you in touch with yourself. That book is called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and it's definitely an artist's friend. And I am an artist, so as much as I help others be creative in all of their own gifts, I truly do visual art, and I'm really trying to get my studio set up right now so that I can do more of that. So that is a book I suggest, and even if not that, then any journaling kind of focus, I think, helps us get inward, kind of record things that are going on and contemplate them. And then it leads a little more into the celebration. And then when I talk about the celebration, I think people should make some kind of reward or activity that they really enjoy at the end of the day or mornings. Like some people, it's just having their tea or coffee in the morning and reading something. And if you really look forward to those things and start to appreciate them, I think that helps just to really enjoy life. And then, like I was saying, at the end of the days, those things can be checked in with. And at the end of the week, do something fun. I do like watching, movies and things, so I'm actually trying not to watch too much television right now so that it can be a little bit more celebratory. And it always is for me anyway, because I have a lot of active things that I want to be doing, so I don't tend to turn the TV on that much. I like to watch it with friends, and if I can't right now, then I will check in with them, maybe on the phone, but then I will watch things. Because nowadays we have, the series, and if you're watching them together with your family members and you don't live in the same place, you have to have some kind of agreement of if you're not going to go ahead. It's just this funny phenomenon that's happening. So I think that's nice, and it's cute because at least it keeps some kind of bond in a way that is virtual. Because a lot of my family, my daughter and my son, are in California, and my husband, and it's just a very unusual life right now, but it is always growing, so everybody's on their own track right now. So that's kind of fun. And my other family is in Canada, and I've been checking in with them, especially my younger sister. That's kind of why I wanted to talk about this right now, because my younger sister works way too hard. She's still working too hard, even from home. And she does need to work extra hard to get towards her own self and self-care. And I like to support her in that because we have very similar challenges. And we're both very ambitious and successful at a lot of things we do. So that leads me into a little bit of boundaries, and you do need to know when you're doing so much for others only and not for yourself. And there can be a balance with that. So I think people have to remember that, and remember that this is a good time that somehow is by the universe, it seems to me, since it's a full worldwide situation where everyone is doing a lot more internal home life. And I just hope that people still see it as an opportunity and that they can really get some forward momentum in their own self-growth. And that is one of the best ways to go about it. So that will also make it that the psychology of fear doesn't take over, really, because you're focused on things that are opportunities you wouldn't have otherwise, and that can just change the entire dynamic. So, one of the ways I celebrate tends to be, I like to bake, and I've done some videos on that. I try to make the things keto and gluten-free so that it doesn't break my other goals. And like I said, watching some TV, often I go dancing, so right now that's a little on hold. It's a little bit sad. But when I can go out and dance, I really do like that.
You can still dance in your living room.
That's right.
You can. You can absolutely dance in your living room. And let's hold that thought right now, and we're going to go to a commercial break. This is Louie Michaelson from Business Talk Radio, and we're talking to the most wonderful guest, Robin deGroot. We'll be right back. Do not leave us.
Are you in need of a lifestyle change? Body Bliss by Jess can help. Jess is a certified holistic health coach with a simple, undiet approach that focuses on delicious foods, daily movement, hormone balance, and self-care. Her mission is to help you find a lifestyle where you can still enjoy the foods you love, fall in love with new ones, and never feel restricted again. For more info, check her out online, www.bodyblissbygess.com. Give her a call at 503-351-9751 or email her, jess@bodyblissbygess.com. And don't forget to check out her Instagram at bodyblissbygess. Body Bliss by Jess. Real life, real results.
Gittins Quick Sale Realty, the realty company that has a winning track record for getting their customers the properties that best suits their personal and business needs. The company that doesn't put the squeeze on your budget. They specialize in the Queens, Brooklyn, Nassau, and Suffolk County areas. To become a winner, choose a winning team. Win a quick sale with Gittins Quick Sale Realty. Go to GittinsQuickSaleRealty.com. GittinsQuickSaleRealty.com. Call 718-454-9000. That's 718-454-9000. Get the quick sale with Gittins Quick Sale Realty.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Welcome back, everybody, and good afternoon. This is Louie Michaelson from Business Talk Radio, and we have the wonderful guest speaker today, Robin deGroot. All right, so we left off dancing in the living room.
Right. Yes. That's a good segue into the other things I wanted to talk about, which was receiving and really giving yourself the things that you need and love and enjoy. And like that same idea, leaving off of boundaries and not only doing. And there is a great book by Gary Chapman called The 5 Languages of Love, which I think is something everyone should read just to start to know a bit about yourself more, because I do think that there's an issue with a lot of couples that they have a different language of love. So when you know your own, this already helps quite a bit in communication with your partner, but also in general with yourself. Like I was mentioning, my younger sister and I were very active. So in those terms of what we're going to do that's fun and what we want to do that shows we're engaged is going to be much more active in doing something for the other or for ourselves or with the other or with ourselves. So those types of things I do think is a good start. And I'm actually someone who suggests in general to learn a lot more about yourself and I do go into more ethereal, spiritual directions in that. So when I think people can not see me in person, like a massage or energy work right now, they could possibly do some hypnotherapy or something over the video, and even some distance healing with energy work. But I think it's a great opportunity to have the learning about yourself items checked off a little bit. And that's why I'm always offering some kind of opportunities for doing astrology, or the astrocartography is a whole other specialty in that world, where you can learn which part of planet Earth is more auspicious for certain areas of your life, according to your astrology. And then the other thing is to know your numerology. So numerology is a lot about your name given at birth, and then the numeric values that a lot of these letters hold. They come from, I'm pretty sure it's Socrates' time, so these kind of things are pretty timeless, and your name that you use nowadays also holds a certain energy. And then your birthday adds up to a number, which is the life path number, which I think I mentioned in my last interview. And the book by Dan Millman has some really great information about the life path number. So this is something people can even just read on their own right now, because you can easily add up all the numbers in your birthday and find out what your life path number is. And then you can know a little bit more about your purpose in life, because this gives you quite a bit of information to have some direction. And like I was saying, with all this internal thought time, especially if you're alone or adults, I think it's a little harder when you have young children at home, but this can still be great to do even with them and thinking of them doing theirs as well. So I think some of those things are always a good place to start. Because if you know a lot more about your own types of reactions and triggers, or just modes of working that you know are the best, and then what you need generally, when you can communicate that to others, I think it's going to be a lot better for everyone. And when people can know that they're on the right direction, that can be a very good place to start. And I do actually do work with couples, because in my truth, love, and creativity business model, I have the love portion is definitely about relationships, and the heart is always dealing with relationships. So when I do some kind of arbitration, it's not really a legal thing, but it's more of a, let's look at it from a spiritual perspective. And I try to get each person to, first of all, see their own astrology, their own numerology, their own languages of love, and then we start to talk about where they're having challenges in their relationship. And those things work out pretty well, because it's a little fun for them, and we're not even speaking about so much of the day-to-day, especially in a blame sense, because it's usually just run away with itself, and there's no blaming, because everyone's trying to do their best, and they don't have a lot of guidance usually. I did want to mention the languages of love here, so in case people don't get a chance to look at the book, but I think you can look it up on the internet. There's quite a few things, but one of them is someone who's more in the auditory, so they'll hear all the words of affirmation. That's the way that they feel love from someone or even themselves. Some people are physical touch, so it's a lot more physical. Some it's with receiving gifts. some it's with quality time, and some it's more with acts of service. And I actually think there's a funny correlation to people's astrology, because I know myself, I have the planet Venus of mine is in Virgo, which is an Earth planet. So Virgo's themes are analysis and criticism and then service, actually. So when I actually show my love to others, I could be critical, which isn't always good, and I would do things for them, so that will be acts of service, and I'm basically trying to help them, but that may not be their type of love, and also it could be overboard. So, and the same thing coming to me, it can be difficult for me to hear criticism or something like that, but I do understand it because that is some of my parts of the language of love. You know, for me, a lot of things are a little bit equal. Like, I do have some connection with all things, but there's a lot of auditory stuff. And maybe because when I was younger, I didn't hear super well. I had some ear, nose, and throat problems. And now I actually really love music and words and just people telling you something. And I really love information as well. So
And dancing in the living room.
And dancing. So that's where my action part comes out. But
there you go.
To music, of course. So yeah, I think some of these things could be delved into right now and hopefully make the best relationship connections we've ever had, and even with ourselves.
Absolutely. I want you to give out all your information on how to get in touch with you, because that's
Sure.
very important.
Mm-hmm. So my website is a good place to find everything. That's robinmdegroot.com. And then the email is the same, so it's robin@robinmdegroot.com. You could call 650-752-8949, but that is usually best if you leave a message so that I can know when to call you back, because that's how I use that number. And then there's a lot of good things on the website to check out, and you could always leave me an email with what you have in mind.
Great. Well, we had some wonderful ideas today from Robin deGroot. I hope everybody listened and everybody's going to contact her. This is a wonderful day. This is Louie Michaelson at Business Talk Radio. Everybody be safe out there. Make sure you spray your mail and packages that come to your door. And we'll be right back. Do not leave us.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
They'll challenge your authority.
Seatbelt on. Not the boss.
They'll try to break your will. They'll push you to the edge of your sanity. Because that's what kids do. But this car is your territory, not theirs. Defend it. Who makes the payments? Who cleans it? Who drives it? You do. That's who. And in here, your word is law. So when you say you won't move until everyone's buckled up, you won't budge an inch. Until you hear that click. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. For more information, visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup.
is the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Louie Michaelson from Business Talk Radio, and we have a very special guest today from Tucson, Arizona, and sometimes San Francisco Bay area in California. Robin M. deGroot, owner and founder of TLC, Truth, Love, and Creativity. This is Robin deGroot.